So, you're thinking about trying your first indoor airsoft game. You probably want to know what to expect, what you should wear, and how much it hurts. Well, you came to the right place. In this video, we'll cover all of that and more. I'll give you some tips and tricks to help make your first airsoft experience more enjoyable. I'll be using the rental gear to demonstrate what gameplay is actually like without all the fancy equipment I normally run with. And we'll discuss if any of that Gucci gear has any effect on your skill level. Spoiler alert, it doesn't. I suck either way. What's up guys, Kip here. Before trying your first airsoft game, buy as much cool military or speedy boy gear as you can. Science tells us the cooler you look, the better you play. Also, before you even try out the game, buy a really expensive airsoft replica. You'll be able to skip the progressively getting better at aiming and movement part. If the gun is expensive enough, it'll do the work for you. Facts, no cap, on God. I'm completely kidding. Tip number 1, go to a field and use the rental gear. Find out if this is something you even enjoy before making any big purchases. I'd suggest go at least 2 times before you decide to buy any of your own airsoft gear. That's what yours truly did. But at the end of the day, do what makes you happy. Moving on, what should you wear to your first airsoft game? Any kind of running shoe. Legs. Something that will cover as much skin as possible. Jeans, cargo pants, sweatpants, or track pants. Firefights happen at a lot closer proximity at indoor games than they do at outdoor games. Therefore, BB hits hurt a bit more. Long sleeves are recommended. A hoodie works great. Just keep in mind, it does get hot running around. I'd wear a t-shirt underneath so you can cool down in between rounds when you're not playing. You could show up with your airsoft appropriate clothing and just your wallet, and you'd be fine. The field will provide you with all the essential equipment. But here is some extra gear I recommend bringing that you may already have at home. These items will allow you to enjoy airsoft even more, and for a longer duration. Which brings us to tip number 2, extra gear. Bring gloves. Finger shots hurt the most. Getting hit on the nail is just the worst. Do yourself a favor and cover those digits up. Any gloves really. Winter gloves, bicycle gloves, or gardening gloves. Knee pads. For this video, I just brought some old volleyball knee pads. You'll be crouching, squatting, kneeling, maybe even crawling or sliding. The ground is concrete with 100 little BBs on the floor. Your knees will thank you. A cup. If you don't have a cup, you can stuff a sock in your pants. People don't get hit in the groin too often, but if it does happen, you'll be thankful you have an extra layer down there. Sweat control. Bring a small towel or an extra shirt. Something to wipe off sweat in between rounds. Sweat will mess with your vision and lead to fogging. Hydration. Bring a couple drinks. Water, juice, or Gatorade. Or at least some extra cash to purchase something on site. You're gonna get hot. Upon arrival, you'll need to show ID and fill out a waiver. You'll receive a wristband and your rental gear, which consists of a gun, a magazine, and a mask. And some places, like Ultimate Airsoft, may even give you a vest. You'll also receive a safety briefing. Listen closely to the rules. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. They'll help you adjust your mask and educate you on how to operate the airsoft replica. Tip number 3 is quickly memorize how the safety selector on the airsoft replica works. There are 3 modes on the replica: safe, semi-auto, and full auto. When the safety is on, the gun will not fire. Keep it on safe when you are not playing. When set to semi-auto, 1 BB will shoot out every time the trigger is pulled. You will be playing your games in this mode. There is a full auto mode where the gun fires continuously until the trigger is released or you run out of BBs. But most indoor fields don't allow it. If you full auto someone on a semi-only field, you will not be very popular. Tip number 4, Ask if they sell any anti-fog wipes. They're only a couple bucks each, get 1 or 2. Wipe the inside lens on the rental mask. This will prevent any fogging that normally happens with standard paintball masks. If you can't see anything, you can't shoot anything. You'll want to wipe the lens a few minutes before each round. Tip number 5 is get to know the field. Ask if you can check out or take a walk on the field. Remember to wear your mask. You don't need to inspect every room or corner. Aim to gain a general understanding of the layout. You'll feel less overwhelmed when the BBs start flying. Tip number 6 is get familiar with the AIRSOFT replica. While on the field, take a bunch of practice shots. Make sure you know how to insert and remove the magazine. Practice manipulating the safety selector. Test your accuracy by attempting to hit targets. Are your BBs landing generally where you want them to? Warm-ups are good for everyone. Just remember to render your replica safe before returning to the safe zone. Mag out, fire 2 or 3 shots to clear the chamber, safety on, and barrel cover on. You will be required to do those 4 steps every time you come off the playing field. Staff will be checking. Make their lives easier and remember the steps.
Hey guys, remember, barrel covers on, magazines out, and subscribe to Kip Airsoft.
Let's go! Now, if you don't get a chance to walk the field or take some practice shots, no worries. You'll get the hang of it all your first couple of games. While you're in the safe zone or staging area, do not remove the barrel cover. It is there to prevent any accidental discharges from the replica. When you're in the safe areas, do not insert a magazine. Finally, do not fire the replica in the staging area. Even if the barrel cover is on and the magazine is out, accidents can still happen. There is never a reason to fire the replica when you are off the field. It's almost time for the ref to call everyone in for the first game. People will be putting on their gear, loading their mags, and getting chronographed. Chrono is mandatory for all Airsoft replica owners. The staff will check the power of their replica and the velocity at which their BBs shoot at. If it's over the field limit, they will not be able to use it. If they've tagged it, it means it's shooting within the field limit and around the same speed as your rental gun. So, even if Neon Paintballer Dude has 007's Golden Gun, or Mr. Call of Duty has a Sentry Turret, their BBs won't hurt much more than yours. What does it feel like to get hit by a BB?
Stings 6 out of 10, 5 out of 10.
But generally, you're not taking shots at point-blank range on bare skin. If you want a general idea, take your middle finger and flick yourself as hard as you can on your forearm. It stings a bit, but in a few seconds it dies down. There's a few contributing factors on how much or how little pain you'll experience. Those factors are proximity, hit placement, and layers. Getting hit at point-blank range will hurt more. Getting hit from someone further away will hurt less. Getting hit on certain body parts hurt more than others. Arms, no problem, but try flicking yourself on your fingernail or on the side of your lower back. Ouch. Those areas hurt quite a bit more, but that can be mitigated by wearing layers. Like I said earlier, long sleeve shirts, hoodies, gloves will help dampen the blow.
Game is starting! Make your way in!
When the ref calls everyone in, put on your mask, grab your replica and mag, and head onto the field. Don't bring your phone with you. If it gets hit, even in your pocket, there's a good chance the screen will crack. The most important rule while you're on the field is do not take off your eye protection. Whether you are hot or uncomfortable, or your mask is fogging, do not take it off when you're on the field. It is forbidden.
But the word forbidden kind of implies there's a little wiggle room. There's no wiggle room with forbidden.
Step off the field, go to the staging area, and take care of it there. The ref will go over the safety rules, explain the game mode, and tell you everything you need to know for that round. They'll also balance the teams for an even matchup.
Alright, so while we're on the field, you don't want to see anybody taking off their eye protection. Because you're done for the day. No blind fire, no fallout, don't go for the lights, don't shoot the ref, don't get one of the rough towers, don't let the towers, anything marks that home, make it light clear.
Clear.
So if you're respawning on the close side, it's just going to be that room over there. And if it's on the far side, he can show you.
Before the ref says 3, 2, 1, go, or game on, Don't forget to take off your barrel cover, insert your mag, and switch the safety selector on your replica from safe to semi. I forgot the mag. No matter what field you play at, respawns are typically located at opposite ends of the map. When the game starts, aim to advance at least a quarter of the way up the field. Avoid staying in your own respawn. You want to prevent the other team from gaining control of most of the field. To give you an idea of what a typical first-time experience might look like, I took a more cautious approach. That might have been my undoing. Or maybe it was forgetting to insert a mag.
I can't even get down the sights with this thing. Hit! Did it shoot? It didn't shoot. You know why? Because I forgot to put a mag in.
What do you do when you get hit? It's an honor system. When you get hit, you stop playing, say your hits out loud, raise your hand so people know, and walk back to your respawn. Whether or not you simply have to touch the respawn before heading back out, or you have to wait 30 seconds and respawn, all depends on what the ref says the rules are. You're probably gonna shoot at the first thing you see move, but try to ID your target before unleashing hell. They might be a friendly. At most fields, including Ultimate Airsoft, players are divided up into two teams, armbands and non-armbands. Just look for armbands, or the lack thereof, to identify your teammates. Now, you won't be able to aim the greatest with the rental gun's iron sights. The paintball mask inhibits you from getting a good cheek weld on the stock. But, once you adapt, you'll be able to make the BBs go where you want them to.
Got one on the left.
Another big rule at any airsoft field is no blind firing. This is blind fire, shooting without looking at what you're shooting at. Sometimes you'll hit an enemy player at the same time they hit you.
Oh! Yeah, okay, good trade.
We call that a trade, and you both go back to spawn.
I can't even get down the iron sights. Oh my god.
You'll get better at landing your shots the more you play.
Got one.
As a 10 to 15 minute game comes to an end, a very loud and clear game over announcement or air horn signal will let everyone know the game has finished.
You shoot hard.
I was quite impressed with the rental gun. Now it was time to go back to the staging area. Mag out, fire 2 or 3 shots to clear the chamber, safety on, and barrel cover on. Take off your mask, wipe off some sweat, grab a drink. If you're low on BBs, see if the staff will top off your mag, or give you a new one. Don't hesitate to ask the staff or some of the regulars about their airsoft replicas and gear, or for any tips and advice they have for newcomers. We're always thrilled to see new players on the field, especially those who are enthusiastic about our hobby. Alright, so the ref is calling everyone in for the next game. You got your mask, your gun, your mag, and you're ready to crush it. I'll run another round with the rental equipment, and we'll talk about some in-game rules you wouldn't know about unless you've played before.
Can I have all the armbands to my left, non-armbands to my right? Anybody new? Stand in the middle.
Again, the ref will review the safety rules, explain the game mode, and balance the teams to maintain fairness, especially with more players joining. Looks like this time we're switching sides. Don't forget, mag in, barrel cover off, safety off, or you won't be able to shoot. I see running shoes, jeans, hoodies, and a couple gloves. Perfect attire for airsoft. Once again, I try to play at a more conservative speed, moving up very slowly to show what most beginners do. Most of our team barely moved up, allowing the other team to push right up to our spawn.
Oh, hit!
I'm in my spawn, but there's an enemy looking right at me. Spawn camping isn't illegal, it's just frowned upon. Just to be clear, that guy wasn't spawn camping, he was only there for a moment. And that's why we ID our targets, because Lightning McQueen there was on our team. I think anyone else would have lit him up. Back to spawns, shooting into or out of spawns all depends on the rules of the field. I think it's safe to say, if they're shooting at you, you can shoot back.
They're shooting at us! They're shooting at us! We'll shoot back!
No doubt I like to play hard, but I like to be even more polite.
Oh, thank you.
Tip number 7, treat everyone with respect. Kindness and friendliness go a long way. And you never know, that random player could turn out to be a lifelong friend.
Oh, good trade, bud. I hit you? Oh, it looked like I hit you, maybe not. Oh, okay. Good shot.
I took it right in the face.
Hit the head. It's actually the least painful place because it's just part plastic. Scary, but doesn't hurt at all. Hey guys.
Of course, now that I've said getting hits on the head doesn't hurt, I'll get hits on the top of the head in the one place there's no protection. By a friendly.
Oh, great. Teammates, man. Teammate. Oh.
Normally, the rental paintball masks have a visor that protects the top of your head, but I took mine off to attach the GoPro. You guys should be fine, but if you feel like you want more top of your head protection, bring along a baseball cap or a toque or a thick beanie. Friendly fire is when you accidentally shoot someone on your own team, or someone on your own team shoots you. It does happen, and it does count as a hit. If you get friendlied, raise your hand, call your hit, and return to spawn. But gesture to your armband or announce, "Friendly." Hopefully, that person realizes you're on their team and doesn't make that mistake again. If you friendly a teammate, quickly run somewhere else on the field and pretend that it wasn't you. Kidding. It's awkward and you feel bad, but just say sorry and try to do better next time. If your replica gets hit, we call that a gun hit. At Ultimate Airsoft, it becomes unoperational for an out loud count of 10 seconds.
Gun hit. 1, 2, 3.
During that time, you cannot fire the replica, but you can switch to your sidearm if you have one. After 10 seconds, your replica is back in play. Every field is different. Ask what the gun hit rules are at your field.
Oh, good hit, bud. Okay, nice trade, man, nice trade.
Tip number 8, make it known that you're hit.
Dead man coming back. Dead man coming around.
If I didn't vocalize that I was hit and coming around the corner, little buddy there would have shot me. When you're hit, make it very clear that you're out and trying to return to spawn. Do your best to stay out of the way. Keep your hands in the air and keep repeating hit or dead man walking. This will help you get shot less on your way back to spawn.
Any no bands in here? Armbands or no bands? Friendly, friendly, friendly. Nice hold, you guys.
Someone in there. There's someone in there.
Here, I saw him. There's somebody holding that corner with like tracers.
Tracers are pretty much glow-in-the-dark BBs. They don't shoot faster or hurt more, they just help with aiming. You can see exactly where your BBs are landing.
Oh, this gun is way too long.
As you get more comfortable playing, try to make some game plans with your teammates.
Do some of you want to try to circle around? Yeah, it's smart if one guy holds here so they can't come through.
Funny, hallway guy had the same plan as I did.
Hit. Whoa, all right? Okay.
Another trade, but it sounded like someone accidentally full autoed.
Hit.
Probably one of the little guys behind me.
Little guys, I'm back.
Ricochets don't count. A ricochet is when a BB bounces off another surface like a wall, then hits you.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between a ricochet and a direct hit. A wise man once said, when in doubt, call yourself out. Last seconds of the round, was about to get behind the enemy when it took some more friendly fire.
No, friendly.
Anyway, let's hop into one more round with the rental gear. There's a few more important things you should know for your first game. We got a couple more tips, and we'll explain some airsoft lingo you'll hear on the field. Time to ramp things up.
On you. Watching left.
Pushing up to midfield on the whistle.
Left down one. Another one, far left. Antic, you still in? Oh, my butt. Good shot. Dead man.
Getting better at aiming with the rental gun.
Forget to wind up your mag.
If the magazine you get with the rental gear has a wheel on the bottom, you're gonna have to wind it up every 15 shots. This round, we're playing center flag domination. There are many different game modes you can play at Airsoft. King of the Hill, Flip the Switch, Protect the President, Hostage Rescue, Bomb Defusal. The list goes on. It just depends on what your ref or group chooses. Tip number 9 is be mission focused. Do your best to actively participate in completing the task.
Flags up.
If it's capture the flag, try to be the player that captures it. You'll get the chance to communicate and work with your teammates. You'll get to see every nook and cranny of the field, and you'll still get into plenty of firefights because you'll be right in the thick of things. All the things a growing airsofter needs.
Dead man coming in the middle. Dead man in the middle.
Making sure it's well known that I'm out and walking back to spawn.
Good angles, bud.
Tip number 10 is security in numbers. If you're not going with a buddy or a group, ask some other players on your team, hey, I'm new, can I stick with you guys? Or what can I do?
Antic, there's one here in front of me.
What, left? My left?
Right in front of me, right in front of me.
He backed up.
Okay,
He's hit.
copy.
Reload.
Covering.
You'll be far more successful working in a group at A, staying alive, and B, getting kills. All it takes is just one BB hit on any part of your body to be out. Being hit by 1 to 3 BBs is normal, but you don't need to shoot someone 5 to 10 times to eliminate them. There is something called overshooting, and no one likes that.
Alright. When you get hit, try not to give away things. Dead man are supposed to talk. Thanks, man. Oh, I got you, buddy. Yeah.
The dead men don't talk rule. When you're hit and walking back to spawn, the only thing you should be communicating is the fact that you're hit. As soon as you're back in spawn, go ahead, shout out info, or sprint back to your teammates and tell them what you know. But while you're still dead, do not relay any info to your team about the game or enemy whereabouts.
You're gonna come in with you?
Tip number 11 is make callouts. Information on the airsoft field is a vital part in winning any game. Help your teammates out by making callouts about enemy locations. 2 on the left, 1 behind the red barrels, 2nd floor, 1st window on the right. Your teammates will appreciate you. Minimum engagement distance. Some fields, mostly outdoor fields, have a minimum engagement rule, meaning if you are within 10 to 15 feet of an opponent, you cannot shoot them. At this field, there is no MED rule. You can shoot someone an inch away from your barrel. Whatever field you go to, make sure to ask if there's a minimum engagement rule. That brings us to melee weapons. There are melee weapons in airsoft: rubber knives, plastic swords, rubber ninja stars, etc. If you get hit with one, you're bad and you should feel bad. Kidding, if you get hit by one, it should only be a light tap. Like everything else, ask your field what their rules are on melee weapons. Let's recap all the kills I got with the rental gun and give you guys some terms you may hear on the airsoft field. A rental: first time players or newbies who are renting their airsoft gear. No duff. This means someone seriously got hurt on the field. If you hear no duff being yelled, stop playing immediately and shout it out as well. Cease fire. Similar to the no duff, if you hear people shouting out cease fire, stop playing immediately and shout it out as well. Blind man. If people are shouting blind man, it means someone doesn't have their eye protection on. Stop playing immediately. Eye pro. Short for eye protection, referring to airsoft rated eye protection that will stop BBs from hitting your eye and damaging it. Face pro. Short for face protection, covering your mouth, cheeks, and nose, but most importantly, your teeth. Ear pro. Short for ear protection, large plastic earmuffs that dampen loud noises and physically protect the ear from BBs. Shooting hot, meaning someone's replica is shooting above the field limit. The BBs are flying at a higher velocity that can be dangerous. Dry fire. Dry firing is when you shoot the replica with no magazine or BB inside. The gun cycles, but no BBs come out. There is no dry firing in the safe areas. Even if the barrel cover is on, the mag is out, and you're 100% certain there is no BB in the chamber, accidents can still happen. Now, if you're told during a game, dude, you're dry firing, means you're trying to shoot, but no BBs are coming out. Check your magazine and ammo level. You might be out. An AEG, short for automatic electric gun, referring to an airsoft replica powered by a battery. HPA, short for high pressured air, referring to an airsoft replica powered by pressurized air. Gas blowback, referring to an airsoft replica powered by gas. Speed softer, referring to a player's look and play style. Someone who moves fast and plays aggressive, wears gear that resembles paintball. Milsimer, referring to a player's look and play style. Someone who moves deliberately and tactically, wears gear that simulates the military. Grenades, expels BBs in all directions upon impact or detonation. There are sound grenades that make a loud noise. Every field has different rules in regards to grenades. Surrender or mercy. If someone is saying surrender or mercy to you, it probably means they snuck up on you and are giving you a chance to call hit and return to your spawn without being shot. Depending on your field's rules, you can either accept it by saying I surrender, or mercy, mercy, or hit, or you can try to shoot them if you think you're fast enough. Alright, my overall thoughts on the rental equipment. The paintball mask. I was worried about fogging because it was a huge issue for me in the past, back when I first started playing and was still using the rental equipment. I often had to step off the field mid-game just to wipe down the lens. But this time, I used the anti-fog wipes before each round and I had no fogging problems at all. Crystal clear vision the whole day. The only downside was the hard plastic around the face area, which made it tricky to aim properly. But by the third round, I adapted and made some great shots. Tilting your head will help. The vest was great. If the field offers you one, give it a try. It looks cool and gives you some extra padding. I was pleasantly surprised with the rental gun. Solid amount of power, shooting at 365 FPS, and was more accurate than I expected. The length was only an issue in tight spaces, like small doors and narrow hallways, but minor issue. Overall, it did the job well. I think it shows in my kill count over the 3 rounds. I hope the gameplay with the rental equipment makes it clear it's not the gear that defines the player or the game. A fancier, more accurate, faster shooting gun is a luxury, not a necessity. Sure, cool gear like chest rigs, plate carriers, and fancy masks can enhance your experience and style, but they are not required to have a great time or to dominate on the field. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments so we can help other beginners get the best start possible. If you made it to the end, you're awesome and your support means the world. Hit that like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. I'm Kip, over and out.
Just playing with you guys. Thanks, man. You can't go. Deal there.